as we move along. We'll see. I'm trying to avoid the bugs on my windshield here, so bear with me. I try to get you situated just real quick. See, I don't see that we're live yet. There we are. We're up and running. Alrighty. Welcome, welcome, welcome. What up? Appreciate you all joining. And we are going to roll through Capitol Reef. So, cool thing about this national park is that there are a ton of topography changes throughout it. We're about to see them. So, why not? Let's roll out. All right. So we are in currently the Grand Wash, which is basically the low level area between the two large rock walls here. Sorry for the bugs. I tried to clean them off as good as I could. Try to get you in a spot where you won't see too many of them. All right, moved you a little bit. Okay, so there are a ton of topography changes in this national park, like a lot more than you think. You see right now we're in this giant washed out area between the canyons. Recommendation here is if it's raining, don't show up here. It's washes out real quick. Oh, we're lost connection. Brutalized here going through this canyon. Apologies for that. I think we might get disconnected one more time before we get out of here, but we are in the lowest level of this national park by far. And we're rolling through. Pretty rough terrain in this low level washout area. We're starting to escape that low level canyon, starting to split off on both sides. Sorry, the two favorite things for me at the park today. One, at this national park, there are orchards everywhere, and they're free to guests. So if you're a guest at the national park, you can go and pick apples off the tree and eat them. Apricots, peaches, almonds, everything you want out here they have. You can't take it with you. If you're going to take it with you, you do have to buy them from the visitor center. But if you're going to be on site and just crack an apple off a tree and eat it, you certainly can. That is within the rules. So very cool thing about the park here. And the other cool thing is the abandoned uranium mines. So reminds me of Fallout a bit. I love Fallout. So walked over to the abandoned uranium mines. They are closed off, but there is a horrific smell coming from them. And if you read the signage, there is obviously endangered bats that always live in those mines. So they don't want anybody in there, but they really don't want you in there because of all the radiation. So the sign even says going into the old abandoned uranium mines that you're only supposed to spend 1 day around that mine area before you leave. You're not supposed to spend an extended amount of time there. You're supposed to spend just a maximum of 1 day there because there's so much radiation pouring out. I don't know. I'm sure it's just horrific smells. There's a washout right there on the right side. That's pretty much close to the last part of the washout we're going to see. But off to the right side over here. Oh, I will have a video series on those abandoned uranium mines. But as you can see, look, all the lush greenery we're coming out to. Get out of that canyon, and then we're going to head on this Scenic Drive. Here's a washout right here, too. So if it starts storming, you want no part of this. I don't think I'll have a problem, but I think a lot of people will. So we're exiting the Grand Wash and heading on the Scenic Drive back towards the front of the park. So this is a 20-mile drive, but the problem with it is it takes... All right, sorry about that. Lost connection there just for a second. And we are back. Check that out there. Get the sun going down here. I'm not sure what my phone's wanting to focus on, but it ain't that. Let's see if we can get it to do something else here. There, that might be better. I think it's the problem is the bugs on the windshields getting us. I think that's our biggest problem here. All right, there we go. Maybe it's the sun. The sun is what our problem is. All right, we'll get out of the sun in a minute as we drive through these canyons here, but you can see The sun is blurring up my camera a bit. I'm gonna maybe try to move you over there. Apologize for all the bugs. If I move you over there, I think you're okay. But check out these canyons. Wild, look at that. I mean, that topography is just insane. Just look at that. Absolutely crazy. Out here, Capitol Reef National Park. I mean, just look at that layering through there. You see that gray layer right there towards the bottom? That is what the indication was, that greenish gray, that there's uranium out here. And so they started mining and they found it, but highly dangerous, obviously. And we're rolling. Look at these views. We're getting back towards the main part of the park. You can see the greenery in the distance there. And so this is actually, like I said before, a ripple in the Earth's crust is what caused this. And you can see that ridge coming up right there. And so inside of this park down here, when we get towards the campgrounds and stuff, you can see how it's just a desert oasis right now. These awesome columns on my right side, just insane seeing those in person. And all that crumbling rock and how the topography has changed over the hundreds of millions of years. But we get down here, we're gonna see orchards everywhere and an old town. This was originally Fruita, Utah, old Mormon settlement. And I got a bunch of cool videos today, checking out the old sites here. And now we're just rolling through the park, trying to keep us away from the sun because that wants my camera to blur. So we'll just keep aiming it over here and see what we get. But not a ton of things to do at this park compared to some of the other ones. And don't get me wrong, there are parks with not much at all to do. Obviously, like I live close to the Arch, which is a national park, one of the 63 as well. And I don't know, there's not a ton to do there other than ride the elevator, go see the grounds and stuff like that. But you get to a park like that, there's a lot of stuff to do, not nearly as much as like Rocky Mountain National Park. But look, we're under arrest. But there is a lot of stuff to do still. Look at this greenery that we got into. Like we came out of that deep canyon and then right into this greenery. And then this on the left side, this is all an orchard right there. Orchard. There's apple. That's an apple orchard right there. I saw some little baby apples on there. So again, if you're staying at the national park or you're just visiting the national park, these orchards are free. This one is Mulford Orchard. So there's no big apples yet. The ones I saw were like ping pong ball sized. And I think the apples are the first crop of the year, but I don't think they'll actually be done till like July. So not here for apples, but it's very cool. You can just eat freshly out of the orchard, have whatever you want to. And so this little settlement out here, there's a campground to the left of me. And this settlement out here was built, some of it in the 1880s, some of it in the early 1900s. And all this greenery, check this out. Now they do water it a lot, but still, you wouldn't think that middle of Utah, all this deserty canyon surrounding everything. Look at that in the background, that you would get these orchards. But you do. Crazy to see. Rolling up in here. Oh, there we go. Who we got on the left over here? Awesome. Crossing the road. Very cool. Out here. That glare just gets you. All right. And they have a nature center. They got really anything you want to see out here. They all the original settlements. I saw the old schoolhouse, which was wildly enough, went from I believe 1896 to 1941, and their last class had 8 kids, so they decided to call it quits, which I don't necessarily blame them. But look at that view! Wow. Every time I get the sun in there, it's blurry, but if we avoid the sun, we're getting some great views. Just keep on driving up out of here. But anytime we get out of the sun here, it won't make my camera blur. You can see the great mix now on my left side of the canyons, the right side of all the greenery, and we'll run into some more orchards as we make our way to the north side of the park here. I saw a large mountain goat climbing earlier. No mountain lions, but you'll get them out here. There's an orchard to my right. You see the apple orchard. And I don't really see any big apples. Oh, there are some apples on that one. Oh, there's some Granny Smiths over here on the right side, but they don't look like they're big enough yet. They look like they're bigger than the other ones I saw. The other ones were like a Honey Crisp apple, it looked like, but these definitely look Granny Smith. There's nothing on these ones yet, but very cool. And we are at the visitor center. So not a big drive to get out of there, but all the topography changes are just wild. I mean, crazy. All right, let's go this way. Actually, we want to go this way. I lied. I'm wrong. Yeah, we'll go this way. I've not been this way yet, so let's move you out of here, get you out of that blurriness, check out that view. All that greenery, all that sandstone, all those mesas. And we'll just keep rolling. We're technically still in the park here. Park has a weird boundary. It kind of starts before the visitor center. Most of the parks are right there. Oh, look at that view. Apologies, I cleaned my windshield literally 20 minutes before I got into this park, but that's what happens out here. Sun just shining off those red rocks. Look at those, look at that layering. Wow. Insane. Just beautiful topography out here. Capitol Reef National Park. Working my way west out of the exit here. Well, let's take a look at some of these views as we drive. Why not enjoy them a little bit? It's crazy how quick the sun goes down here with all these columns and everything like that out here. All these mesas. The sun will creep down behind those real quick, and then it's just dark outside. What can you do? I'm enjoying it. I have a long drive to the next one. I'm going to stop in this town up here just outside the national park and refuel, and then decide what I'm doing the rest of the night. 8:19 out here in Utah, and just enjoying it. Look at that layering. It's so cool. You can tell where historically this has changed over time from many different environments. But you can see that barren desert environment that was in there, mud packed environment, that loose rock. Finally getting a spot where you can speed up. Perfect. That's what I like to hear. And you see the sun just disappearing over those mesas right there. We're losing it. I think when I get up here to this town, I think we're just going to start getting dark pretty soon. But awesome view out here. I mean, underrated national park. There's not, like I said, there's not the most to do. I think it's a great place to camp. I saw a ton of people camping, riding their bikes around the orchards. That's cool. I mean, I think that's an awesome thing. There's not like a ton of things to visually see out there. You have a lot of old settlements, and then the washout, the scenic view, but not as much as some of the other national parks. But the views here are just astonishing. You don't get these everywhere. So that for sure is a big deal. You see a lot of haze in the sky. That's going to be because there are a lot of wildfires. And so I've been catching a lot of wildfires while I've been filming. And I'm trying to just give you something that doesn't have the sun in it so it's not blurry. Apologies for the windshield. There we go. Get a little better view there. Get out of that sun. I mean, look at these monoliths. Look at that monolith right there on the right side. That is just insane how those just keep standing. But they don't always stand forever. They do fall. Nice little stroll here. Appreciate y'all following along and watching. I mean, just amazing views out here in Utah. Everywhere I go in Utah is a great view. I like the topography of both so far. I think I like the topography of more eastern Utah a little bit more than this, but I can't complain about this. I mean, look at this. Look at this view. We finally got to 55. So exciting. We are losing that sun quick behind that mesa. Check that out. It's going away. Well, we tried. It's getting dark real quick here, y'all. We'll roll through. We get to the town of, I believe it's Terry, maybe? Terry might be the next town I'm going to. We'll roll through, we get to Terry, and then I will probably have to cut it off because I think it's going to get dark outside. But awesome view and drive from that washout deep in the canyon all the way into the main part of Capitol Reef, which was the old 1880s and early 1900s Mormon settlement and all the orchards out there. I can't believe they can grow all that stuff here in Utah. Like, it's just nuts. But you think about that ripple in the Earth's crust, I mean, is what it is. That's going to give you those crazy environments like that. But, I've seen a lot of cool sights this year, and I just can't pick a favorite one. I saw Cappadocia, and that looked like another planet. I mean, this looks like Mars kind of in some spots when you're out walking. Just that red dirt, that deep red dirt and sand everywhere. Like, you feel like you're on Mars. But yeah, Rocky Mountain National Park had just, those mountains are beautiful, amazing. I got no complaints about any of these national parks. Like, the National Park Service does such a great job maintaining our parks, taking care of them, and we get to explore them and have a good time. And what you'll see at these national parks, a lot of campgrounds surrounding them, inside of them, anything. Just a heads up, everything you say online or see online will say that they will take like credit cards, debit cards, but most of them do not. So make sure that you look up how much it costs to camp there before you go. And then I always just keep cash with me, especially if you're going to be there after hours, because you can just throw it in the envelope, dump it in there, and pick your campsite and chill out. That's what I'll end up doing tonight. I did that last night. Had a great experience up in Moab. Camping out there, it was awesome. And I'll find a good spot tonight too. Gonna roll into town up here, like I said, get some gas, see what the what is, see if they got any food. I've only, this entire day, just because there are not many facilities out here, I had a large curly fry from Arby's at some like random Love's gas station in Utah, and mozzarella sticks from there too. That's it. So that's what we're rolling on today. Hoping this town has something, and maybe they will, maybe they won't. We just exited the national park right back there, so we're officially out of the national park and rolling on Highway 24 through Utah. Just enjoying that evening drive. We're gaining some altitude here. Just take a look at the sun going down behind those mesas. Great western view there. Feel better about it if we get rid of these construction cones. Wide open, check that out. Awesome view. Wow, look at the mountains in the distance. Very cool. And then it's turned green again. Crazy. The topography in this part of Utah is just insane. Like, I can look around right now and see at least like 6 different topographies, which you don't ever see anywhere for the most part. Like, I live in central Missouri. It's wooded and hilly. That's what you get. So it's very cool to see all this stuff and see it up close and personal. All right, y'all. I'm rolling up into town here, so gonna cut the stream off. Appreciate y'all following along again with me as we roll through Capitol Reef. Back again tomorrow night, probably, with Bryce Canyon. I got a bit of a drive to Bryce Canyon, so I'm going to cut my day up tomorrow. Kind of weird to get there, but I'll get out to Bryce Canyon tomorrow, check all that out. Excited to see it. Excited to show y'all National Park number 5. Appreciate y'all joining me. Thanks for hopping on the stream and checking it out. Be back again. Thanks, y'all. Peace.